Welcome to Spawn Point Podcast number 78. Today we have the full original crew. We have Lucas, the third.
Hi.
Well, I mean, Josh is always here in my heart.
No, that's fair enough.
Hi, Luke. We have Andy.
Hi. What up?
He is not Tim, for future reference. And
What? Why do I say Cam and why does Luke say Andy? Come on.
I changed this before my computer restarted. That's
I don't
really
believe it.
annoying. Oh well.
I'm Andy now.
I can fix that.
Hello, I like books.
Anne! It's Anne. Anne brought bad luck to the stream.
Yeah, that's what happened. She turned looking into me and I can't Cam.
Look, now Andy
I
is
like
Luke
FIFA
and
too.
Luke is Andy. Easy, fixed, problem solved.
Yeah, that's turn it to change it back.
No, don't let it be me.
No, please don't let me be him.
Don't let it be me. Oh snap. Okay.
I was just look. He
Just double down.
Yeah.
How
You don't need
is
to make-
everyone in chat? Hey Andy, hey Luke, hey Nia, hey Anne. How has everybody's week been? In chat, just fire away. Here in voice. Let's start with Luke since he his face tells me that he has amazing things to tell. His face is I'm
That what
lining
that
him
face
up
says?
here. I'm lining up.
That what
That's a
that face
face
says?
of epic moments.
Are you sure? I think you're really bad at reading faces.
Oh yeah, wait for it.
Okay, I'm waiting for it.
Wait for it. Okay, look, we're done waiting. Give us it now. Luke!
Podcast Luke.
Luke, I want to leave! I want to go to bed!
I think so. What happened? What happened?
You haven't been on the podcast for 1 week? 2 weeks? 1 week? 2 weeks? 2 weeks?
2 weeks, because we had the hiatus the week before that, so that's it. And as we know, we're not allowed to have a podcast when I'm not on it.
Ah. That is good to hear. I will tell you how I'm doing after Luke figures out his life. In the meantime, Andy, how was your week? I think time just disappears.
It's Halloween week at work, so I've been organising a bunch of Halloween stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But today I didn't get to work until like 10 o'clock because some fucking dribble decided to break down his crane in the middle of the A1.
Yeah.
So I was kind of sad.
That's the dream.
My normal commute to work is like 20 minutes. It was about an hour and 20 minutes this time.
Yeah.
It was real bad.
Damn,
I
that
was
is
not
much
I
longer.
was not happy.
That's the only problem with having like a motorway on your commute route, is that motorways are unstable as fudge.
Yeah,
Full of crazy people.
full of morons who don't know how to drive. Oh, when I was driving home as well,
Hey Cam.
some guy was following me, and he was an Audi driver, and he was full Audi driver. Like, it must have been like that far from my bumper, like the entire drive.
Damn.
And I'm just like, dude.
Just like, if it wasn't a brand new car, you just brake. Just brake.
I mean, if I did it with my own car, I would have been very tempted to just brake.
Just be like, nah, this is it. This is the end.
Just avoid motorways in the morning. Yeah, thanks, Anne. I'll
Avoid motorways.
Yeah,
Full
yeah,
stop.
Fine. Yeah, just don't
Be
drive the
honest.
motorway here. It's fine. Just down go. Wait, I know. Let's describe what is down go. Tell me more.
Just down go.
What is down go though?
It's when you go down on a woman. Okay, Luke.
Okay, I can.
How
do
was
that,
your
yeah.
week?
I'll just stay at home and do that instead. Nice.
Hey, Josh.
It was my mother, my mummy.
It was my mother. How was your week? It was my mother.
Interesting.
It was mother in the dining room with the bread knife. No,
Okay, God, who did she kill? There's kids in that house.
not
Killed
anymore.
Luke. He's speaking to us from beyond the grave.
Oh my God.
My
Spooky.
mummy is helping me with my Halloween costume for Saturday.
Ooh.
That's the thing.
Is anyone else dressing up for Halloween,
Back off.
including chat?
No. feel that was very
Two people
aggressive.
talking and in the background.
All right.
Already
Not
have
having any of
Halloween.
that.
And what direction do you think your Halloween costume's going in?
Huh?
What direction do you think your Halloween costume's going in?
Upwards.
I'm gonna make my face a skeleton face,
Okay, easy, good.
and I'm gonna dress up dapper,
Dapper.
and I'm just gonna be a dapper skeleton man.
That's a good one.
Are you
I
gonna be
like
Jack
it.
Skellington?
Ah ha ha! That's what everyone's gonna think.
Huh?
Everyone's gonna be like, "Are you trying to be Jack Skellington?" And Luke's gonna be like, "No, this isn't. This is a regular skeleton.
God.
This is just another dapper skeleton."
How do you just because I'm a skeleton doesn't mean I'm Jack Skeleton?
You're gonna get that a
he's
lot.
The dapper skeleton.
He
though.
is
There
the
isn't any other
dapper
one.
skeleton. I
That's,
will.
he's got the the thing. Trademark. There you go.
Hashtag
That's the word.
Ashley.
Okay.
Come on,
So
do
Cam
the
says he
reply
wants an
now.
excuse to dress up. Halloween is a perfect excuse. Do it, Cam.
just
Josh
dress
says Halloween is beneath me. Come out. I feel you. And Lewis says that he's going to be a slutty nurse, and I need
Oh,
pics.
Yeah, need fix. Do one.
And yeah, Anne is apparently required to dress up. So you've got to tell us
Damn.
what you're dressing up as.
I've
I
already
also
had
am
a dress up.
required to dress up.
That's
You're
a co-op.
required.
Yeah.
They
Really?
want you to
Sure.
like. They want you to.
Everyone know.
I hope my shops don't dress their people up.
It's in co-op. They're just like everyone's making a big stink because everyone's like, I don't want to dress up for work. They're like, no, dress up for work. Come on. And I was just being like, if I didn't already have a costume, I'd probably make a big deal out of like, I don't want because some people don't want to buy something just so that they have to go to work in it.
Yeah.
I just
Also,
like those style
like
people
you
at
know,
the
some
university
people
costumes.
just want to go to work in normal clothes and
Yeah.
not have to worry about an event they're not interested in.
Yeah, if I had the choice, I wouldn't have bothered.
I have nothing against Halloween or people wanting to dress up and crap, but like don't make people do it. That's not cool. That's not fun.
But with the co and we're the center of the community, and we've got a community spirit and
What's
stuff.
Halloween got to do with the community?
Everyone in
Halloween's
the
about
community
teenagers having sex.
dresses-
Yeah.
What?
It used
I
to be
remember
about
this.
kids getting candy, but now it's about teenagers having sex.
Hey.
That was about sluts.
Oh, boy.
Halloween.
That's not community
Sluts
spirit in any way.
underscore.
Kamal is just against people
Depends
being
which
people.
part of the community.
I am actually against that, but that's like a
Yeah.
higher level against thing. Like that's a different
This
story.
is an ongoing thing. It's not just Halloween.
A kid actually called me that last week, so just like any holiday.
You shouldn't
Oh,
try to
crap.
curse something, should you?
Wait, did he call you a witch or did he call you the other one? Because I don't know what we're referencing now. Because I thought Anne was like being like coy about saying the other thing, but now I'm not sure
witch?
anymore. Yeah. Now I'm not sure about it.
I'll say it for you because you can't.
I don't know. Anything
We'll
else?
find out.
I'm gonna buy a dapper hat for my costume.
Sweet.
That's gonna be cool. But no, nothing else than that. What? I'm pretty boring.
I mean, I'm
on
not
a
much
podcast.
more interesting.
I got spat on by a girl in my well, that's
Yeah.
kind of disgusting. Chavs are oh yeah,
It's
forget
children.
your
It's
town,
children.
Chavtown.
It's also children. Like just children.
Children are fucking gross.
They are.
Fucking poor.
They are. They're gross and
Come on.
poor. Don't touch me.
Yeah, gross. Yeah.
My week. I had my brother and my sister over last week. I took them to Wagamama
Hey.
and White Rose Cam. It was pretty good. Work's been pretty quiet, not in a good way, like in a boring way. We're kind of coming to the end of like our main project, or we are definitely at the end of our main project, and we're kind of in this weird wishy-washy zone where like next month we're being moved into teams, so they can't really give us a new project, but we also have nothing to do, and it's not that fun.
Sounds amazing.
What else is happening? Nothing much happened in the past. Tomorrow, I'm gonna do an escape room with some peeps from work, so that should be fun.
Oh, really?
We'll see.
Cool.
Probably gonna fail hard, but we'll see. It should be good times. Yeah, that's my life. Now you know it. I can
Never done an escape room.
I can tell you. Oh, escape the room is great.
I really want to do one, but like, there's none in Wales. Like,
That's
I
not
have to
true.
travel, like,
Cardiff.
I have to travel like 20 miles just to go to bowling. Like, fuck that noise.
20 miles that far? It's really not that far.
Yes, for a place where there is no buses.
Guess.
Also, I want to do this again, says Cam, and he looked. Oh god, he looked to me. Cam's bleeding. He looked at a picture of himself with some fancy makeup on and blood. You should beat her up with a pool noodle. Should have.
Yes.
Tempting. I thought pool noodle was Australian slang for steak.
Yeah.
Does
Why
sound
yeah,
like
no.
Aussie slang. Does it?
I
No.
thought noodle was like slang of a snake. Like,
Pool
check out my
noodle is just a
I
pool
don't think
noodle.
it is. I'm not sure that's true.
It's just a pool. Have you been to a
Yeah.
swimming pool?
Back-
Pool noodle.
Back in my day, we called them snakes. When I was a child.
What, in the pool?
Yeah, I was like, pass me the snake.
What are you talking about, you crazy person, John?
And then pull my friend, and then we'd hit each other with the snake. 'Cause that's all the pool noodles are there for.
Why? Why would you call them snakes? What about just because? Like what? Okay.
Because I didn't know they were pool noodles. No one told me.
Whales are
Who
snakes.
told you they were snakes?
I just decided that's what they were.
It's
Okay.
not the same.
Okay.
I was swimming, and then it then existed. Like, I didn't see them before I got in the pool, and somebody went, "That's a pool noodle." It was just like, "Whoa, that thing looks cool," and I picked it up and I hit someone with it, and I was like, "This is great."
Sounds like Welsh
Like-
slang more than Aussie slang. Punk, says Josh.
Yeah. Bam.
Alright, guys. Do you want to get into the news?
This
Do
is-
you want to get?
Dictionary
Get down
pool
to it.
noodle.
I'll start because one of my news topics is kind of like what are you doing with your life type thing, you know? So
Wait, who are you asking this question to?
to me,
Oh, okay.
to myself.
Continue. Okay.
Basically, of the games that I've been playing this week, obvious ones are Destiny 2 and Overwatch because that's all we play. But I also played a new game.
Oh my god, I don't believe you.
I'm gonna put it on screen. I played a dating sim.
I thought we acceptably said we weren't going to do that again.
Shh, Andy, let me finish. I want to be heard out.
Continue.
I
Go,
played
Jim.
a dating
Continue.
sim called Doki Doki Literature Club. So when Andy saw this, he asked me what Doki Doki meant, and then he took it back. But there's no take backs, so I'm going to tell him what Doki Doki means.
Oh god, no, I don't want to.
So in Japan, they have a lot of words that they use that are meant to reference sound effects. So Doki Doki isn't actually they're not actually words. They're meant to be sound effects, and it's meant to be the sound your heart makes when it beats.
Doki.
No,
Doki.
can I say that? Okay.
Yeah. So it's meant to be like referencing like, oh, your heart's beating because the dating sim is so cute and you're in love with these girls.
Okay.
But-
Were you though?
But okay, so I don't know where to draw the line was what to say about this game, because basically this game is free. Firstly, you can pay for it, you can download it on Steam, and you can donate money, but it's free. You could get it for free. It's made by a guy who's made a lot of Twitch tools and like stuff in the past, and in secret for 2 years he's been making this game. I'm gonna play it, but I'll play the trailer for it. But right at the beginning of the trailer for this game, you'll notice that it says, "This game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed." Full stop.
Oh,
and then it
why?
proceeds to have a trailer that is pretty standard dating sim trailer. It's like, oh look, it's a game with cute art and anime girls, and you can talk to them, and you can be friends with them, and you can go and become their boyfriend, their anime boyfriend.
Can you do the sex?
No, it's not that type of
Oh,
dating
hey,
sim.
not interested. I'm done.
You can no, but you can become their boyfriend, Andy.
No, what's the point if you can't do the
Um,
sex?
but this is a so I'm gonna quote Dodger on this one. This game will really fuck you up.
Okay, tell me
Yeah,
more.
just right in your soul. Like it goes places. Look, I'm how do I say it? Like so there are a few games that like I play and then after I finish them, I can't stop thinking about them. Like I can't stop like analyzing it and thinking about the end and just thinking about the ways that it did like mechanics and stuff about that game worked. There are very this doesn't happen to me often. I remember BioShock Infinite Story did that to me. At the end, I was like, I gotta know more. You know, gotta go Google, gotta go find the answers, right?
Multiverse. Sorry.
Yeah, multiverse theory, right? And then the other game that did that to me was probably Undertale. And Undertale wasn't so much a story thing, but it was the fact that it was the way the game was designed so that you could do, specifically on PC, because this didn't end up translating to its console ports, but specifically so you could do weird things and the game would react to you, like delete its save, and the game would have internal memory that's built beyond the save, and it'd be able to react to that, right? So like, there's some games that do it via story, and there's some games that do it for me via game design. And this game does both. Like, its game design is amazing. And there are some trippy things that will happen while you're playing this game, and the game will literally restructure its code base around how you play, and things will happen that you did not think were possible in a game, and that's what's amazing about it. And then its story is also super interesting. So just to like some background on the guy. The guy's a software developer turned game developer, and his reasoning for building this game, like he had two main things, and one thing was that he wanted to make a game that like really utilized the medium, like the fact that the medium was interactive, instead of just trying to tell like not to rag on Uncharted because Uncharted's a beautiful game, but Uncharted tells a cinema story in a video game format, right? Like you can cut out the episode, the cutscenes of Uncharted and literally stitch them together, and then someone like Rota can watch it and he can get the experience. Not all of it, but a lot of it, right? That's not using games to their fullest. Undertale does a better job, and its mechanics really push gaming and what it is to be an interactive medium pretty far. But Undertale's story is pretty, it's pretty okay. It's pretty mediocre. It's pretty predictable. So this game does that mechanically, and then on the story side, it was really good for me because I'm a weeb trash person, right? And I know all of the weeb trash, what are they called? Tropes, right? And the other thing that this developer had was he had a love-hate relationship with anime. And he used this game's storyline to dissect tropes in anime and turn them on their head in a way that's really unpredictable and really cool. And it's just insane that I got this all out of a dating sim that's free, and it's like one of the best things I've played this year. Like full stop. It's amazing. It's I don't want to get into how it does a lot of the stuff it does. I can't praise it enough. But if there's a chance that anyone here hasn't played it and it's like, oh, maybe I'll download that and run through it on my laptop, I don't want to ruin it. I don't care how small that chance is because it's really something else. And it's really rare for games like this to come around. So I wanted to give it a little segment on the podcast. I saw the last parts of Cry playing, and that Raccoon. I'm gonna Google this. Raccoon. I haven't seen this game. Is this
Doki Literature Club.
But yeah, I'm just glad that like indie devs are using their like the fact that they don't have the budget to make these graphically amazing games all the time, right? But that doesn't mean they can't do something special. And they keep doing it. They keep just coming out with things that are impressive and different. The downside to this will never be a console game, because lots of what the game does can't be done on a console. The upside to it is it doesn't need a PC that's powerful to play. It's it's images and clicking A. That's the majority of the game, right? And reading text. It's not like graphically impressive. But yeah, it's dope. I like it. Yeah, Sayori is best girl. There you go.
Wait, was that your opinion? Or was that? Okay.
No, this is an objective fact. That's my opinion.
Okay.
brings out like a whiteboard. Like, here are the reasons. Instead of writing down.
If my Steam would open, I'ma do it just because you don't talk about games this positively often. Good. I want when a game like this, I like it this much, for it to be distinctly positive, like how I speak about it. I will say they're not joking when they say, like, if you're disturbed easily, step carefully through that game, because it touches on a lot of like really like real world stuff. So it could potentially hit a nerve with the player. It's good though. So that was my first piece of news, and that's what I played this week. And by this week, I played it in like a day, and I just clicked through it, and I was like in love. That's what I did over the weekend a lot. I don't know if anyone noticed, but I wasn't around over the weekend, mainly because my brother and my sister were over, but also because of this game.
They came over and you were just like, nope, don't care.
No, play this.
I'm playing anime dating games.
I'm interested to see Ed play it as well, because Josh said he'll send it his way. We'll see how many people end up playing it. Yeah.
Good game.
Good game.
GG.
I'll move on to something more people can talk about, I guess, because there's not really much you guys can add. Let's talk about Argos.
Obviously, of course, yes.
Argos is a UK retailer. For all of you non-UK peeps out there, it's like an Amazon, but UK specific, and it also has actual physical retail shops, as well as an online presence. So Argos has apparently decided to step up to Amazon, and they're like, what is next day delivery? How about next minute delivery? And they've announced that if you live in London and you've pre-ordered an Xbox One, they will deliver it 1 minute past midnight if you opt in.
No, you could not hire enough couriers to wait outside.
Oh yeah, they're gonna try it. I'm interested to see if this backfires massively, or if it's like
it's gonna backfire massively.
I don't know. This is a big, very public move. We'll see. They have limited it to London, but London is still huge.
Yeah, it's a big place.
London's massive.
You've got to deliver to someone in Kensington and like Watford at the same time.
Yeah,
different.
The route will run hard.
It's interesting though, and Argos has been like kind of moving onto Amazon's territory in general, recently, but I think they're trying to get people to notice, because it's not something people that are noticing.
It's like, hey guys, look, we're doing stuff.
Yeah,
look,
so
notice us.
Yeah, I see this more as a publicity stunt than anything, and I don't see it continuing with future pre-orders, but like just a way of them going like, hey, we do next day delivery too. Hey, our prices are fairly competitive as well. Maybe you should support us. The X is coming out on the 7th of
November, right?
November, yeah.
Get me one for my birthday.
Easy, simple birthday requests from
Yeah,
Andy. Yeah, mine. I will be working from home that day to make sure I receive mine, because I don't want to do that whole like go get it from the mail crap.
Stupid mail deposit that's open for like 3 hours a day, like
right at the worst times.
Like 11:30 till 2:30 or something.
Also inconvenient. It's ridiculous. But yeah, so that's coming out. I just have a few general pieces of Xbox news with regards to the One X. I know Digital Foundry's kind of got their hands on one and a few different games, and they've been just kind of running the gamut of like comparing it to the Pro. and it's really just kind of just wrecking it. It's just like just destroying it left, right, and center.
That's kind of the whole idea, right?
Yeah, which it should. Yeah, you're right. It totally.
I'd be more worried if it didn't.
Yeah, that's true. It's just, it's weird. I haven't like Xbox hasn't really been on top in a long time. Obviously this doesn't change market share or exclusive presence.
Isn't it? Yeah, we have the package drop things, but like if it gets delivered by the mail people, they just take it back to the office. You don't really get the option of telling them we'll go put it somewhere else.
Yeah, not everyone does the package droppers.
There's a package drop place at like the paper shop like 2 minutes down the road. I just use that if I'm going to be out, or I just deliver it to work.
Yeah, delivering to work is something lots of people do, but I can't. I could do that, but I don't want to carry like valuable stuff on a train ride home, because I have to walk to the station and then I have to like get on the train. Like, I'm not gonna carry an Xbox One X.
Yeah,
like
I
guess. But yeah. It says Xbox hasn't been on top since PlayStation. I'd say, yeah, Xbox hasn't been on top since PlayStation 4 release, 100%. And this is just a performance thing. Like, right now they're just winning a performance game. But if that's a game that people care about is a different question. And obviously there's always going to be people who are like, I want the fastest thing, or I want to play console games that don't run at 30 FPS and are constant trash. There's going to be people like that. But like that's not the majority of console gamers, so I don't know if this
I'll play a game, don't really care.
Yeah, most people, that's the attitude of the majority, right? So it's going to be interesting to see if this changes anything. I mean, like for all intents and purposes,
as well.
Yeah, Nintendo Switch has been the best-selling console globally for the past 3 months, so I'm also interested to see if Xbox One X changes that.
Because you can play it on the train.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? There's a value add there in the sense that like, oh, I have an Xbox or PS4, I get a Switch, I get something new, but I have an Xbox, I get Xbox One X. I'm not really getting anything new. I'm just getting improved, right? Like it's an evolution. It's not a revolution.
Yeah. It's new and improved.
They should go get a Happy Medium, 45 FPS. I'd be down.
Nothing can go wrong with that.
It's been 4 years, damn. Yeah, it's been a long time. In Germany, it just goes to the post office thing if you're not at home. That's what it does in England. It goes to the post office.
Yeah, that's the depot thing.
The
stupid depot.
But they're not open 24/7 in England.
Or even worse, they go to your neighbours and then you've got to talk to them and get asked for your pass.
Yeah, that's
nightmare. I'd rather go to the depot.
Yeah, neighbours. Ew.
Ugh.
Terrible people.
In other Xbox news, they just announced that, like I said, Digital Foundry was kind of running the gamut. Basically, most games are running at 60 FPS on One X, and most games are running at 4K. Without going into like the nitty gritty of each and every game, just know that a lot of stuff is going to be up to date on launch, and the stuff that isn't up to date on launch will be up to date in the next few weeks after launch with Xbox One X support, and it will run better and prettier and blah 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 blah, etc.
Nice.
What I'm more interested in are these rumors that Oculus and Microsoft are going to do a deal, because that is exciting.
Yes.
We need some VR on the Xbox, you know what I'm saying?
Let me play some Shooty Fruity on my Xbox.
I would also like a VR headset that I could use on my Xbox and my PC instead of like the PlayStation VR, which is like only PlayStation, or currently Oculus is only PC. It's really committing to a single system, It'd be nice to have a cross-system VR thing. Yeah. Have your guys' thoughts on the Xbox One X changed at all since launch? I mean, not since launch, since announcement.
Not particularly.
Still on the whole, like, haven't got a 4K tally, would be worthless to buy.
Yeah.
You get that 4K tally.
I push that, to be honest. I'm team. If you don't have a 4K tally, don't think about it. I think you're wasting your money. Microsoft disagrees with me.
You don't have.
Microsoft will tell you.
What reason do they give?
If you have a HD TV it'll downsample and it'll look better, and it will downsample and it will look better, but only ever so slightly, not
Yeah,
450 pounds.
Not worth the trade-off.
Yeah, like downsampled 4K is not the same as 4K. Very, very, very different experience. And I wouldn't pay that much money for it. I will say the more stable FPSs and stuff you would get, and those are probably worth a lot of money for a lot of people. Like for example, Nia, I could see Nia caring about the FPS a lot.
You see, and I'm not a big first-person shooter person.
But yeah, that's
You
kind of
want a PS4 more though.
Yeah, I feel you. Like in the sense that if I owned an Xbox, I'd rather buy a different console that has different exclusives than another one of this console I have. Right?
Have you seen the new God of War? It looks amazing.
Dad Simulator 2017, 2018, 2019.
Dad of War, right?
Dad of War, I love it.
Yeah, I've seen this.
If I ever play that game, I know it's something that happened. I can cry like a bitch. Any game where you have a dependent on you, I tune into like the like. I'm not usually a motherly person, but like as soon as like this adorable thing here, it depends on you. It's like, oh god, no, shield. Okay, no, don't touch my thing.
Yeah.
Don't you fucking leave him alone.
I felt that a lot was Last of Us. I felt like my fatherly side like actually came in was Last of Us. It was that well written. Like I was like, oh no, I have to protect her. She's basically my daughter. But yeah, I could totally see it. Hopefully it's well made. I think God of War is a bit harder to do than a situation like The Last of Us, though, because there is a massive juxtaposition between what's happening in the game and this father-son relationship that they're trying to portray. So we'll see.
I remember when I used to get that way about Pokemon when I was like 6. But you know, like Charmander would faint. I'm like, no, my Charmander fainted. No. And
oh
then,
my
like,
god, you're the person who cared about that? I didn't think anyone cared about that. I thought fainting was just like a tedious thing that we all dealt with. Like,
Yeah, you just wait until they all like can't battle and you've just got to drag their asses back, right?
Yeah.
When I was super young, I was like, oh no, he's here. And now I'm just like, I just throw him a thing.
You're just like, oh, you fainted? Well, I could use your body then.
Yeah, you fainted. What have we learned?
Unfeeling overlord. It's just like, oh, you died. Okay, let's fucking send in the other thing. Like, come on. Christ, yes, Surf. Ooh.
I'm not a God of War fan here, but like, the new one is changing my mind. Like, I would totally buy the new one. Like, I've never really been into the older ones, but the new one looks like a pretty different game, to be honest. Anything could be a weapon, even a fainted Pokemon. Yes! So, yeah, that's Xbox. I have some quick fire news. Steam sales have leaked. Steam sale dates. So I'll just hit everybody up with those. The Steam sale dates for Halloween, Black Friday, and Winter have leaked, which is a bit weird, but like, whatever. So the Halloween Steam sales are starting on the 26th, the 2 days from now, and they end on the 1st of November. The Black Friday Steam sales start on the 22nd of November and end on the 28th, so they're a day. They're like over the Black Friday weekend, so I guess they're from Wednesday to Tuesday. It's about a week. Friday week, I guess.
Black Friday.
Black Week. That doesn't sound right.
No, I was going to say that. I was like, oh, can't say that. No, can't say
that. And then the winter sales are from 21st of December to the 4th of January. So for anybody who owns Steam or wants games, get your wallets ready. They're about to be pounded without consent.
I would hate to say how much money I spent on Steam sales over the past 3 years I used Steam.
Yeah, I did the whole Steam. How much is your Steam wallet worth? Let's do it now, actually. Steam wallet. I did this once and it made me sad.
I think I've done it once and I was like, oh no. Never look at that. I think I've purged my brain from it.
I will say I've gotten better. Last time I looked at it properly was so a couple of years ago I looked at it and I was really upset about it. I was like, there's a lot of lost value in this. So I made it a point to to play more games in my library.
Mm.
And I got the number up a lot higher. Okay, so this is my account. I love that the button says "Get disappointed in your life" trademark. Here we go.
Hey.
Here we go. Hunting ducks. There we go. Current Steam value account cost $2,000. That's how much money I've wasted on Steam. Sale cost $500. It's probably more accurately some number in between the two, so around $1,000. It's probably how much I spent, because a lot of it would be sales. Then it says hours recorded 800. Games not played 29%. So that's still quite a lot, but compared to like
a lot of those would be like all the humble garbage.
Yeah, they are, and compared to like last time when I came to this a couple of years ago, it was something like 70%. It was really bad.
That's a lot. Damn.
So I really like switched it up, but yeah.
What's this website called?
This is steamdb.info and then /calculator. Steam database is a solid site for all your Steam stat needs. That's fair, Nia. I'm interested to see if the main character grows on you a bit more with the new game, since it's quite a bit different.
They're meant to be writing him as like a tragic guy, right?
Yeah, at least that's the feel I get. I don't know. I haven't really read a lot about it.
Like actually properly tragic now, not like his original backstory tragic.
Yeah.
It was just like
I'm angry. I'm gonna sex this lady. I'm gonna kill a god.
More of a holy shit. In the last realm I was in, I literally killed everything.
Yeah.
I am the one thing to return from that realm. Because I used the sword of God.
Yeah.
And then I killed God. And then I left the world in darkness. That's the ending for God of War 3. Like, he literally just murks everything, and that's it.
Spoilers! No, I'm kidding. Nobody cares about God of War 3.
When did God of War 3 come out?
Long time. God of War 3 was a PlayStation 3 game, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
In other news, while Andy figures out the value of his Steam account, Nintendo had a little Nintendo press conference. They're having a press conference tomorrow where they're going to be announcing an Animal Crossing mobile game. Mobile as in not Nintendo Switch, not 3DS, mobile as in mobile smartphone. So this will be Nintendo's third smartphone game, Super Mario Run and Fire Emblem Heroes being the first two. I'm interested to see... I'm always interested when Nintendo announces games for mobile to see how much of the actual game they are, and how much they are just that game's name on a mobile game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to be honest, for the most part, both of their games have spiritually kept to the original game fairly well, while also being mobile and light. Like, Fire Emblem Heroes has
basically
Fire Emblem. Yeah, has the Fire Emblem mechanics in it.
When you think of Fire Emblem, you think of like turn-based, top-down, like moving characters, set 3 classes, and it's got all the main stuff, right?
Yeah, and Super Mario Run was a Mario game. Like, it switched to an infinite run format, but like, it was, for all intents and purposes, level designed, and the way you jump and the characters you attack and stuff, a pretty well done Mario game. Josh says, having fun in Fire Emblem Heroes, played it quite a bit. Yeah, Fire Emblem Heroes is really good. I mean, like, I burnt myself out on it pretty hard, but like, I enjoyed it while I played it. Yeah. I remember every day Andy and me would start that game up and you just hear Fire Emblem Heroes!
Yeah, I remember that. I'm pretty sure I've still got my waifu
Good times.
Team waifu.
Man, my team was all dudes. All I wanted was a waifu, and I couldn't have one. The game was like, nah, you rolling dudes now. I was like, okay, it's fine.
You're rolling with dudes. Just imagining a bunch of burly men, like, and some of them are starting fires, some of them are putting up tents and stuff, and Kamal's just like, wish you were women. Like,
yeah.
Just sitting, arms folded.
I wanted my cute waifus.
Don't.
Not what I bought this game for.
But yeah, I'm pretty confident that the Animal Crossing game will give people who like Animal Crossing what they want on mobile. because they've had such a good streak with it. But we'll see. It's also interesting that like just a year ago, or a year and a bit ago, if you told someone Nintendo would be making mobile games pretty regularly, they would have told you never, ever,
Haha, you
ever.
fool.
Right? But it just happened and nobody really questions it. It's pretty good.
I've got so many present things that I haven't picked up. God damn.
The other things Nintendo did was they launched a new update for the Nintendo Switch, which adds the ability, adds some basic functionality that it should have had at launch, such as being able to use USB headphones, and wireless headphones. Some weird functionality that is cool, I guess, such as being able to connect a GameCube controller.
I saw this. It's really out of nowhere, right?
Yeah. They didn't mention it as well. Some guy just decided to plug a GameCube controller and it's like, oh, it worked now.
So goddamn, what's they've been trying to do that like every single time we turned on his own. He's like, oh my god, it worked this time.
I feel like that's for Super Mario Odyssey, so when it comes out, people who like Sunshine can play it like Sunshine.
Yes.
Oh my god, they changed the hero summoning for Fire Emblem.
Ooh.
You can only summon one at a time now.
And the final thing they added was really good and nice and cool, and I appreciate it. And it's basically the ability to capture videos. Similar to PlayStation Share and the Xbox's double X and then Y, I think it is, or whatever. It records like a 30-second snippet and saves it with your screenshots, and you can copy it to an SD card or send it to friends or whatever. And it's nice, and I like it. And I might play Breath of the Wild again just to take snippets and send them to you.
I immediately summoned a waifu.
Not gonna lie, because I just want you guys to experience Breath of the Wild so badly, and it kills me inside every time I remember that you guys haven't played it. So maybe I'll force it down your throat via 30-second snippets.
Switch at some point. as soon as they bring out a Pokemon game for the Switch, I'll buy it.
Yeah, one day.
Oh, that Fire Emblem one. Pretty good.
Oh, Fire Emblem Warriors is out.
Oh,
I want to buy it.
Back out.
I want to buy it. No, I accept that you need more than one game. But I want to buy it. But also I don't want to spend tons of money. Super Mario comes out in 3 days. In just 3 days. I'm so
I found
hyped.
that mate that Neo were talking about. I'm something on Fire Emblem because I've got about 10 million damn orbs.
Nice.
Found a maid.
And my final piece of gaming news, I have more though, is that, okay, so long ago in a distant land, EA announced that it was making a Star Wars game, and it showed off a bit of the Star Wars game, and everyone proceeded to lose their collective minds over what was basically a tech demo.
Fuck you.
Look, I don't blame you for being easily hyped.
I blame you for being easily hyped. He got suckered.
But anyway, point being that later, more information came out about this game. We found out the studio developing it was the guys who made Dead Space, the Dead Space series. We found out that they had hired a writer from Uncharted. We found out that they had the lead game developer from the original 2 Assassin's Creed games on board. We found out, like, basically all of this stuff that was, like, a mixing pot that you would think for a great game. So this studio was called Visceral. And I say was called in the past tense because EA has shut them down! EA announced this week that Visceral is closing. They said that, it's really sad to be honest, because Visceral was a good studio.
Yeah,
and they made
2 Dead Space games really good.
Yeah, they made good games, like really good games, and like Dead Space only got worse because EA kept on trying to like force them to do crap that they didn't want to do as microtransactions.
They forced all the DLCs, microtransactions, and all that stuff.
Freaking EA makes game studios do things.
You can't just have a pretty good single player game. You've got to make loads and loads of money out of it. You've got to have all the things, right?
Yeah. Sigh.
This is what drives all these games into the ground.
And,
I think it's because they've got like all the Call of Duties and stuff, but they can't compete with the amount of money that makes. So therefore, it's a failure of a game in their mind.
So EA did announce about the important thing because nobody really cares about these people and their jobs. at least to EA. They did announce, oh, don't worry, guys, the Star Wars game isn't dead. But Visceral was not doing a good job with it, and according to current market trends, we will pivot the game. That's what they said, as if that was, like, somehow gonna, like, soothe people, that they're pivoting the game's direction according to market trends. That's the most disgusting line I've heard about game design in my life.
That makes me feel a bit ill.
Wet all over.
So it's like they're basically going, oh, this game's gonna suck, by the way. We're still making it, but it's gonna suck now. It's probably gonna have multiplayer and microtransactions and loot boxes. Because, you know, screw single player games. Who needs that crap?
Single player games are fucking losers, right? Gah. Poor ass losers.
It's
Good
sad
single player
times.
Star Wars game.
No, not allowed.
Why can't I have what I want all the time?
Nah, man. People love Dante's Inferno. People loved Battlefield 3's Endgame. Battlefield Hardline was a fine game. Godfather 2 was pretty good, if I remember correctly. Visceral's done a lot of good stuff. But more than that, like, I feel like if EA had faith, this new Star Wars game would have been good. You know, you just had to give them time and breathing room, and not tell them to follow market trends.
Not market trends are the only important thing, come on. Sure.
Market trends.
You're wrong. It's all about those market trends.
Cry. Oh well. It is over now. Hopefully everyone from that studio landed on their feet fairly well, / has found a new job in a better studio, was hopefully a better publisher.
What's a good publisher?
Hopefully they went indie and they're gonna make a great game.
There you go. There it is.
Hardline was received badly, but not because it was a bad game, in my opinion. Lewis is great. Let Lewis talk about it. But in my opinion, it wasn't because it was a bad game. It was just not what the Battlefield audience wanted at the time that game came out. Like, it was way more of a DLC than Dante's Inferno is not a booby version of God of War. God of War was a booby version of God of War. Dante's Inferno told the story.
Why was Dante's version a booby version of something?
Because I have boobies in it.
Nia said that. I was just responding to him.
Oh,
He's trying to crap on all of the stuff Visceral's made.
Yeah, just kicking them when they're down.
It was DLC, I know. DLC is a game though. Like, it's something a studio needs to make. Like, an expansion is game.
Expansion is game.
Right. In other news, so these two are kind of unrelated to gaming, but I mean they're tech related, and we apparently do stuff that isn't gaming related every once in a while. So
I got crazy though.
So firstly, and if you guys want to follow along, you can open this link and see it. But I will show it on stream. Scientists in the University of Japan are working on a system that will let you control robots with virtual reality headsets and motion recognition, and it's gonna be the coolest thing ever. And it's the future, and it's so cool, and I love it.
Future is now.
Like, it's so they've got robotic puppeteering. They're saying, because, you know, they want to keep their funding, that this is going to be great for using robots in you know, scenarios where, like, humans are too risky to use, but you want that delicacy and blah blah blah, like health care and radioactive areas and dangerous facilities, blah blah blah, all of that boring stuff. Really, this is gonna make robots that we can control and put in rings and make fight each other to the death.
Robot fights, yeah. That robot fighting rings. I'm down.
It's gonna be the future. It's gonna be so cool. I love it.
That is well cool. Though.
And it's honestly, it works surprisingly well. Like, watching this guy control this robot, it's pretty good for really early tech. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's picking up that box real good.
The real struggle with robots right now is getting the air quote muscles to be as intricate while also delicate as ours are. Like, so basically being able to do fine motory function, like, and right now with hydraulic systems, it's very like, oh, I'm opening my arm, oh, I'm closing it now. Like, there's no like middle grounds, you know.
Yeah, I guess that would be, you need to like, replicate the muscles being like fiber tissue and stuff, right?
But yeah, the better we get at that, the better robots like that attempt to be humans will get. In other scenarios, obviously robotics is fine as it is. Like, I mean, if you're trying to make a machine for actual use cases, you don't make a human, you build to use case. Like, making a human doesn't usually make sense. But if you're trying to build robots that you're going to have fight in a ring, you make a human, because then we can relate to them, and then it's way more interesting!
You go, robot, you go!
Wait, didn't they make a movie about this? Wasn't that stupid Hugh Jackman movie?
Yeah, a Real Steel or something like that.
Isn't that wasn't that basically what this is?
Yeah, this is basically what I'm asking for, yeah? You've got
Why
me.
are we shooting on Real Steel?
Look. No, it has to require the human moving, because then there's that link between the controller and the robot. It's not as fun just watching a program do it. You know what I mean? Like, you want the damage and the impact that a robot can do. Like, but you also want the human nature of it being, like, kind of random and unknown. And you need those two things. And then you create an anime world, and it comes to life, and it's beautiful. In other giant robot news, there was a giant robot fight that happened recently between these two famous giant robots that one was built in Japan and one was built in America, and a couple years ago the Japan one was built, and then the Americans built one a year after that, and then the Americans messaged the Japanese guys and they were like, let's fight, and then the Japanese guy was like, okay, why not, and then they had a fight. Unfortunately, the fight is really boring. Like, this all sounds way cooler than it is. They're like some, like, okay, I'm gonna get it on the screen so people can see like what these robots look like, because they look cool, but they're not very mobile, and they're not very.
I'm imagining a huge fight, and then just one robot just goes,
Yep.
and the other one falls over.
No lie, that's exactly what happened in the first round. I'm not even kidding with you, that's exactly word for word a description of the first round of this fight. It was really crap. But, like, you know, it's one of those things, it's a stepping stone, right? Like, you get people controlling robots, you get better robot muscles, and then you get giant robot fights. And it all comes together one day, and everyone like accepts it as the new king of sports, and we all love it, and it's great. That's my dream.
Other sports? Do they have fighting robots? Therefore, other sports don't exist.
Yeah, exactly right. You get me.
I got you.
So that's the giant robot news that I have for you. I mean, the duel. You can watch it on YouTube if you want. Just search giant robot duel. It's pretty crap.
So you said not recommended.
Yeah, it's not recommended. I watched it just because, like, you know, when the giant robot fights do come, I will look back at it and I'll be like, this was the first one. Look how crap it was.
Look how far we came.
This is the first one. Did you not see Robot Wars?
Robot Wars aren't giant.
They made big ones.
Those were bigger, but they weren't giant. These things are taller than like 3 men on top of each other. Those are giant.
More rubbish, anyway.
Yeah, Robot Wars is way better to watch. I'm not gonna lie.
There's a new series down on Sunday.
And my final piece of news is to do with the dangers of the way modern advertising works on the internet. So basically,
real.
It is pretty real, but it's also pretty cool, and it's also pretty scary. So basically, what do we all know about Donald Trump's election? Russia was involved. That's what we all know. Unsubstantiated claims, people will say, but we all know the truth. Russia was involved. But what did Russia do exactly? Well, you know, there's a lot of kind of conspiracy and crap about how Russia was involved in air quotes rigging America's election, blah blah blah. And I don't want to really get into that stuff. I'm sure there is more more stuff
There's
going on
There's
at
lots of
kind of.
tinfoil hat men that'll tell you all about this.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, and and I'm sure also that there is actually stuff that happened at like FBI, CIA level, like that is interesting. But like, we don't know about that. That's not what we're talking about. We're going to talk
No,
about a
okay.
way that Russia can influence countries' elections and countries' people that is real and proven to be true and really, really impactful. And that is advertising. Russia's government has been shown to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in pushing adverts to different parts of different states in America that agitate the scenario that is going on in that state slash push an alternate party. Like, we're not even talking like so imagine like you for example, imagine Ferguson. Russia pushed a lot of Black Lives Matter ads in that area. Why? Just to make the situation more prominent and worse because they felt like it would, make the American people less united. So they did that. Right. Let's talk about a state that was super like anti-Trump. Russia would push Trump ads in that state. And let's talk about a state that was super for Trump. Russia actually pushed ads that were against Trump in that state. Because Russia's goal, the advertising department of Russia's secret service, their goal wasn't necessarily to get Trump in power, it was just to confuse the American people as much as possible. They were just like, a country divided could not stand. So they just, where they can, they launch targeted ad strikes. And this is a thing. Targeted ad strikes that will destabilize a region as much as possible just by as a result of subliminal messaging slash pushing and fear mongering. It's really amazing, and it's really messed up.
Also amazing.
Yeah. So recently, Google
amazing.
and Facebook both released kind of exposés of like them tracking and looking at funding for ads and ad purchases and where they were coming from and where they were going to, and basically piling all of this data together to like find trends and see what was happening. And that's where we've gotten this information from, because like this is something that's been rumored for a long time, like Nia said. That was the Twitter. What Nia said is true, but like I meant, what I was referencing is more like the Twitter bots. Russia also makes a lot of Twitter bots, and they make them follow people and retweet things and crap like that to push political agendas. I say Russia a lot in this, just because that's who the world is focused on right now. You know for a fact this isn't just Russia. You know for a fact every country is doing this, to other countries. And I just think it's good to know that this is a thing that's happening, and to constantly triple check yourself mentally, and be like, is my circle like really representative of what's happening in the world right now, or is it this bubble that's being created for me, and being designed to represent something to me that'll make me feel a way, and that doesn't just go for like advertising on websites. It's also for the news agencies that you read your news from. News agencies are commercial and they're designed to make money. And to do that, some of them, like Fox News, will sway right because that's where their market is, not because they actually care about anything. And some of them will sway left, like, I don't know, let's say The Independent is a big, like, really left-wing UK newspaper, because that's where their market is. And that doesn't make all the news that comes out of these outlets bad. It just means that you should know that they will always have that hue on them, and when you know when news stations hue, you can, you can be like, oh, okay, maybe I should take this with a grain of salt. Maybe you should take that with a grain of salt. I think
take everything with a grain of salt.
Take everything with, 10 cups of salt is ideal.
Use your own brain. Use your noggin.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Basically, the world is a crappy place, and it's getting harder and harder to understand what's happening in that crappy place, and that sucks.
Well, a lot of people want to shove their opinions down your butt.
Conclusion:
I'll
move
put
somewhere
that down your
secluded
butt.
and have
Holding you
no
upside
outside
down.
connections.
Okay.
But then, there's gonna a world war will start. You'll be like, where did this come from? And then nuclear winter will happen, and you'll be like, damn it, I wasn't ready for this world war.
Oh, I don't know how to feel about this. There's no paper to tell me how I should feel about it.
Where do I go?
Yeah, that's also a really good question. Where do you go?
Where do I go where I can't get drafted?
But yeah, that's all. That's my news. I'm done.
Switzerland. Sorry.
Yeah, Ham says you just go live in a cabin in the woods.
Easy, flawless.
Yeah. No possible downsides to that at all.
Nothing bad has ever happened in the cabin.
Do you like
There's never been news about that.
do you like that guy on YouTube who makes his own like stuff in the woods?
Oh, the Stone Age technology dude.
Yeah,
Turn into that guy.
yeah, that'd be cool.
It's legitimately really cool.
You'll get all the ladies, and
Yeah.
me. You'll get me too.
Oh. Hey. Right. I'll move on to my news now.
Yeah.
So I've got one little quick bit of news. So
Oh yeah.
we were talking about Nintendo before, and they've got another. They had made another little update when they were talking about some other stuff on Switch. So they announced that the next Pokemon game for the DS, which is like the big version of Sun and Moon, I think it's Ultra Sun and Moon. They're going to be the last ones for the 3DS, so they're moving away from that, and they're going to move towards bigger technologies.
Yeah.
So like, the next one's probably going to be for the Switch, but obviously they didn't say when it's going to be or release any details about it. But obviously now you know that all of their Pokemon people are going to be working on that one because they're totally done with 3DS. That's the last core Pokemon game they're going to do.
That is really hype news, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping the Pokemon team takes a page out of the Zelda team's book and really reworks the game for Switch instead of just making another.
Yeah, don't just do it. Just
Pokemon
don't just
game.
port it over. That's it.
Yeah.
I'd totally redo it. If they just ported it over, that would be such a bummer.
Yeah. Truth.
But yeah, so maybe a couple of years, get some open world Pokemon on the Switch, and I'll buy a Switch.
Fingers crossed.
So stay tuned for more details as that comes up.
Did
But
I got some news for y'all, says Neil. Also,
Ooh,
Josh says
ooh.
Primitive Technology. That is the name
yeah,
of the
that's the
YouTube
one.
guy.
Yeah, that's the one.
If anyone hasn't watched Primitive Technology, go watch it. It's so good. Fighter Z is releasing on January 26th. Ah,
Hey, that's Dragon Ball Z. Don't know about that.
yeah, that's the new Dragon Ball Z fighting game I played
Yeah,
at
we should get
GX. Twas good.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, okay.
January 26th is quite a ways off, though.
Solid 3 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
My
a good.
next
That's a
bit of
good
news.
release date, though.
It's about Destiny 2.
Seasons!
Yeah, they talked about it at TwitchCon. 3 of the developers talked
At
about
TwitchCon.
it. Yeah.
TwitchCon.
And obviously, if you look at the numbers in that for Destiny, I know people post them in the Discord and stuff. Destiny 2 have been struggling to keep players for a while, so like all the numbers have been steadily dropping. So they've changed the way it's going to be working, and they've got like what?
I don't know. Okay. I mean, I don't know if I agree with that. Destiny's struggling to keep players.
I mean, I would say it's struggling to keep players, but there is a slight downtrend in numbers.
Yeah, but isn't that true for any game that
Yes, I know.
releases
I'm
like from
just telling
launch
you what the
window?
numbers say. I'm not saying none of this means the game. I didn't say that makes it a bad game or a failing game. I'm just saying.
No, I mean, I agree with you. I just.
Come on, why don't ever say anything?
No, look, I'm just saying that it's a statement like that. I feel like we could only make in a couple months' time, like after the curve should have stabilized anyway, because naturally, decline is predicted from other games that we've seen that are multiplayer. That's all I'm saying.
Basically, what you're trying to say is, how is this news?
What?
Well, I haven't even started the news yet. So.
Yeah, the news is the seasons thing.
No, I meant the downgrade curve thing.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say was that is
observation.
basically it's not. It's not.
That's just an observation of something that is happening.
Yeah. Or
That does not necessarily prove anything as of yet.
yes. Okay.
So,
All on the same
anyway,
page.
on the seasons. So
Seasons.
in the first year of Destiny 2, apparently there were going to be 4 seasons.
Yeah, like the year, like the human year.
The
We have 5
2
seasons here.
Season
No.
2 hasn't started yet, but said there's going to be one more Iron Banner and one more faction rally before then. So
Yeah.
probably
Some big
both gonna
news
happen
on
as
Iron
the PC
Banner as
launch
well
after
is
it.
they're planning on reworking it according to user feedback.
Yes, that is also something in here as well. So
Oh.
yeah, they're reworking that stuff. On Autumn seasons, they're going to reset the clan progress every time a new season starts.
That makes sense. I was interested
So-
in what the hell was going on with clans
Yeah.
because they were just kind of like not clans. Sorry, what are they called? Oh, okay, carry on. I was
No,
talking
okay,
about something
so-
else.
So they wanted to like new clans don't like get totally left in the dust by a lot of people who've already been playing the game from day one, sort of thing.
Yeah, fair.
So
fair,
you
fair.
you get different perks depending on whatever season, because each season apparently is going to focus on like different sort of things. So it's not just going to be like the same thing, like retconned over and over again to do the same thing.
I don't think Nia's happy in chat.
I'm not even looking at chat right now.
So, Nia, question: would you rather them not change Iron Banner or change it and they get better from now on? Like, what is it? Like, what do you want, Nia? What do you want? Okay, carry on, Andy.
He just wants a perfect seamless
there's,
experience. No.
I mean, that's a fair
So it
ask,
says-
to be
it
honest.
says the first season focused on the Cabal, so this one won't. The next one, but I don't know what that means. Says season turnovers will also be where Bungie makes tweaks to like weapon balances and introduce new content. So I guess they're gonna like roll out a whole bunch of different patches during like when the season turns over. A bunch
Cool.
of stuff changes, rather than just having like little bitty bits like every now and then. There's gonna be like a bunch of tweaks for every season. What it sounds like, but there's not many specifics on what that actually means. So I guess that one's still got a few things to iron out, I guess. So all the metas will probably change at different seasons, kind of like I guess Overwatch do that, right? So it'll be kind of like that. And
Yeah.
the last thing on here it says in season 2
Factions.
they're gonna start adding ornaments to trials, Iron Banner, and Faction Rally gear.
Factions!
Yeah, so you still do the turn and tokens things, and you get the gear like that.
That's the
But
one I was talking about. When
to
you
get
said clans, for some
ornaments-
reason I heard factions, and I was like,
I
because
guess they're kind of similar,
since
right?
the
Clan,
faction gun thing ended, I was always like, what the frick is happening
Yeah,
with factions?
absolutely
Because the
nothing
guy
else,
was just
nothing else.
standing there like,
Hanging about.
I guess I'm done now.
Here.
So what happens now when the season 2 comes out? You still get the gear by turning tokens like you did with the guns, I guess. But to unlock an ornament, you have to complete a challenge that is tracked by the gear itself.
Yeah.
So I guess it'll have its own like, mini quest or whatever.
Cool.
More stuff. It says weapons are also going to change season to season. So like they'll shuffle around like the energy types, stuff like that, to make them more varied.
Cool.
Microtransactions will be refreshed between seasons, so we'll change most of the content. Of course, they will. So you buy more stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what everyone wants, right? More stuff to buy. Just buy more things.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing about the microtransactions being refreshed is that your Briar engrams will also get a new
Yeah, I
set,
suppose.
a new
So,
pool
yeah.
of things to get from. But overall, I'd rather them just not be there. That would be nice.
But also on the microtransaction things, they're gonna be you can only get season-specific cosmetic items in that season. So like if they release stuff in season 2,
Yeah.
you can't get it anymore when the season refreshes, I guess. So they'll be like exclusive to seasons. It talks about a thing called a clarion call, which are apparently what they said. It's kind of foggy what it is right now, but they said they're going to be limited time global events that give XP bonuses if you meet certain criteria. And they said they gave an example of one of them could be you get a 2 times XP buff to anyone doing any event in a fire team with someone in your clan. So I guess it's just specific things that gets you like a slight bonus or something, I guess.
Yeah.
And the final thing that they said, there's going to be at least one more Crucible map in Season 2.
Cool. That's cool.
It'll be like the ones from Trial of the Nine or Iron Banner.
Yeah. And the most important thing I think to remember about seasons is this is a quarterly thing. This isn't
Yes.
like a one-time thing. So basically expect what happens now to happen every quarter. And then on top of that, there's the DLC. Like, that's a completely different thing. This is base game Destiny will always have every season. Like, every season will affect base game Destiny. You know?
Yeah.
And they come like the new game modes that they're going to be adding was this season are also pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's like one of them's like that ice hockey mode,
Yeah.
and one of them's like something else. I don't know, but they're like winter.
They throw
themed.
snowballs.
They're winter themed, yeah.
Yeah.
It's something they need. This is what they need. Is they need this like constant pool
Yeah, and
of
they
stuff.
keep rolling out new stuff just to keep people interested because
Yeah.
people are already like kind of starting to be like, it's kind of all the same. I know I'm like
Yeah.
that sometimes. That I only come on like,
Yeah.
every Tuesday to look at the
That's
new,
what I
like,
think.
new things.
Yeah, a big
So if you
big
get the
part
new
of
stuff.
that like graph that people were talking about earlier this week, I think, is that lots of people have hit level 300, you know, and they're ready, they're paused and they're waiting, right? And like, and when the season comes out, it'll spike back up to around the same level as it was originally, and then it'll come back down when people get done with the season stuff, and then when the DLC will come out,
Yeah,
it'll
so
spike
that-
back
which is-
up
which
again.
is the boss.
Like, it's going to be a sine curve, and
Yeah.
ideally Bungie will notice that, and they'll start trying to fill in as much gaps of that curve, like to
Yeah.
keep it flat lining at the top
Yeah,
instead of
to
at
at
the
least
bottom.
have like a fairly steady average.
Yeah, it's going to be. It's one of those things. It's like it's a learning experience. I would have faith in them, but they did have the entirety of Destiny 1 to figure this stuff out. It's not like it's their first rodeo.
Oh, yeah, Blizzard don't do stuff. What are you talking about?
So we'll see.
It's talking about Blizzard.
Bungie?
No, it's Blizzard. No, what are you talking about?
It's Blizzard
It's always Blizzard. Everything's Blizzard. But anyway, my final bit of news.
When are they increasing power level? Cosmetics can only do so much.
Never didn't talk about that.
Power
worry
level's
about
not going to increase until DLC. That's my guess.
I'm assuming if they were going to do it soon, they would have said.
Probably be like the next big DLC because in like the last game it was 2 DLCs, the Dark Below and the House of Wolves, and then like the big DLC came out, which was the Taken King. And I think that's when they increased the light level last time.
Well, yeah,
Or
I
it was-
don't mean so much increased light level as increased light level cap. Because it's soft cap right now, right? The actual light level cap is 350,
Yeah,
right? So when you say that the thing you want increased light level, did it increase the actual cap or the soft cap?
soft cap, I think.
Ah. If your guess was right, you have no reason to play Destiny until DLC. Yeah, I mean, other than maybe have some fun and get some
No, you don't.
cosmetics.
It's not all about
Like-
making your numbers go up. You can play games for fun.
Like when the season comes out. I understand that right now, like for someone like Nia, they've played everything, right? And put it down. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
You don't have to play a game all the time. You can come back to a game, right?
You know, there's Shadow of War out, and Assassin's Creed's coming out, and
Yeah,
Wolfenstein.
There's so many ways for you to spend money on that.
This Wolfenstein New Order is coming out, and Super Mario Odyssey is coming out, and there's a million games coming out that are probably good and probably worth playing. Go play some of those games. Go
Yeah,
play
play some
go
good
play Doki Doki Literature Club. It's free. That's so good.
Yeah, there you go. Easy. Yeah, anyway, my final bit of news.
Hard cap was increased,
Oh my
was what
gosh.
Luke was saying.
Gonna say,
Just a touch back onto that. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
So,
you.
We'll talk about Activision and how they are scumbags.
Okay, Activision are scumbags. Next
Yeah.
piece of news.
Yeah, no,
Pieces of shit.
anyway, to elaborate on why they're scumbags.
Oh, what? We need to?
No, I need to.
Oh, this is
So-
great, actually. This is amazing.
So Activision, what they've done, so they've patented a microtransaction.
It's an
matchmaking
old patent,
system.
right?
They filed
Sorry,
a
filed
patent
it.
in 2015, and it's been granted as of this week.
Ah, so that's why it came back
They
up.
filed a patent for a driving microtransactions thing in 2015, and it was granted on the 17th, which was last Tuesday.
To be honest, I'm surprised this much hubbub. I guess when they filed, it's not really known
I
information.
think when they filed it, what microtransactions and loot boxes and stuff weren't quite as big a deal as they were now. So now the fact that it's been granted as of this time makes it a bigger thing.
Yeah.
But basically, to explain it to people, basically they've now got a patent for a matchmaking system, which basically puts players in situations where you'd be more likely to do microtransactions. So it matches, say, if you just started the game, it would put you in like a game against.
I've got a nice
someone.
flowchart from their patent.
Have you? Okay.
Yeah.
So it would match you against. So I don't know if when you put that up while I'm talking.
Yeah, I have. You're good.
Okay, so it could possibly match like a new player against someone with like a super awesome gun that you've got to buy. So you'd be like, oh my god, that guy was awesome. Already have he had this gun, so I need to buy that gun. And then, or if you buy that super awesome gun or super awesome armor or mods or whatever, they'll put you against people who don't have it. So it makes you feel like your purchase was worth it because you're like absolutely wrecking shop, I guess.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Basically, yeah. It's pretty. So yeah, it takes a game's matchmaking system and turns it from a thing designed to give a player the best experience they can have, and turns it into a thing that's designed to make a player spend as much money as possible.
basically, yeah.
And this is really like, there's so many things that this brings up. Like, this is just the tip of the iceberg in the sense that like this is a patent. It's not them asking for permission. It's them saying, let us be the only people who could do this. So that does like I think there's this delusional idea people have that like stuff like this couldn't already be implemented. It could. It just wouldn't be patented. Like, and not just by Activision, by every company. You know.
That's interesting. So I'll talk about this. We'll look. I was going to listen. I saw the last episode of the Jimquisition.
Yeah.
Where he talks about an company called Scientific Revenue. Which has the most horrible video. And no, I don't know.
I downloaded Unity and they emailed me. Like, I don't know how they found out, but like when I was playing with Unity, they emailed me these guys.
So basically, Scientific Revenue is a company that specifically has like apps that run in the background of your game, and it sort of monitors data trafficking for people who are playing the game on mobile or whatever. And it goes over. I think it's the phone you have, your average spend, when you play the game, and all sorts of data, so they can dynamically change the microtransactions in a game to make it more likely for you to buy stuff.
Oh, that's evil.
But the worst part, they've got a video for it, and it's just so hard.
It's amazing. It looks like something out of like kind of like a more happy version of Black Mirror.
Yeah,
like it looks like this dystopian reality.
Their catchphrase is turning players into payers, which is just like such cringe.
Yeah,
it's disgusting.
It's like one step away from being like, do you have a grandmother? Does she have a credit card? Can you get that credit card?
Essentially, it's basically almost at that level.
I think another interesting thing about Activision's patent is that like there's so many ways that you could apply that. Like lots of people I think jump to they'll match you against a player that has better stuff that you can buy, and then you'll go buy that stuff because you think, oh, I can be as good as him if I buy that stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
But they could also use it to match you against a player that has better stuff. I mean, a player that's better than you, but not because of his stuff. Like, his stuff is just different stuff. Like, he's using a different gun, or, like, a different skin or whatever. And then it'll leave you, as the other player, thinking, maybe he's only better than me because of that stuff. I have to buy it. You know? Like, they can get you spending money on stuff that doesn't even do anything. Like, using that logic. It's pretty sneaky stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting, some of it.
I will say, that multiple people from both Bungie and Blizzard have come out and said none of this stuff takes place in our games, and like I'm not surprised.
Bungie have their microtransactions right there. They've got a storefront for it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's not in Destiny. It's not in Overwatch right now. Like. But it doesn't mean anything. This isn't like you don't take a publisher like at their word.
You can say whatever you like. It doesn't mean to say whatever.
Like tomorrow it could be in. There's nothing stopping you from doing that.
I'm sure Bungie said there weren't going to be microtransactions in Destiny 2 at some point.
And really, I think it's time for England and America and all of these European governments to step up and take the initiative and realize that like what Korea and China have already realized that gaming and the mindset of that these companies are creating can be really detrimental to people, and put some like legalization around it. Like, we need some legislation. Like, in the sense, for example, China has this amazing law where any game that has any random aspect in it must show the chance that stuff will drop from that game. Like, it has to present it. So when Overwatch launched in China, they had to present the stats for their loot box drop rates, even though it was information they didn't want to give. But it shouldn't be information that they're not allowed to give. It should be information that's publicly available when I'm investing in a system that has that random nature to it. The one problem with that is that only guarantees that the Chinese version of that game will abide by those rules. It doesn't mean that the other versions abide by those rules, you know?
Yeah, they totally could have just changed it for that just because they've got to publish those figures, so they could just change it to make it look more favourable, I guess. Yeah,
like, it only guarantees safety for Chinese citizens and people in that market.
Just move to China and play Overwatch.
So you can't, like, you can't rely on other people's laws protecting you, right?
Yeah.
Just bye.
Just gotta go get my suitcase.
But you know, it's really sad. It's just really sad the direction that AAA games are going in, and it's super unfortunate because this is all Overwatch's fault.
Yep, they did.
They introduced the loot box and everyone was like, "Oh, how so." Obviously, Overwatch wasn't the first loot box game, but it really did push it.
It was the first massively popular loot box game that I think.
Smite's just kicking itself.
I think it's really eventually. I think after something really crappy happens, publishers will realize that this is all a bad idea, but it's gonna take them a long time.
It'll take a big change.
Oh my god, I was playing Doki Doki. This is gonna be this. Okay, I expect like in 3 hours to get a message from you going like, why? Why did you do this to me?
We need updates. Yeah, I want a message to tell you what the hell's going on.
A message at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's like a crying face. It's like, I warned you. Yeah. I fucking warned you.
Told you it was bad.
I'm interested to see if she gets far enough into it because for the longest time, maybe a bit too long if I was to critique the game, it just kind of is a standard dating sim. And I know that's part of its commentary, but like for people who are playing it expecting, like me, expecting stuff to happen but not knowing what, it felt like I was trying to play to that point, you know what I mean? I wasn't just like...
Yeah, you're trying to get through it that bit.
Yeah, that'd be my critique of it. But anyway, Activision's patent, right? Sucky crap.
yeah. That basically that. And that is all my news.
Hello.
Yes.
If I had paper, I'd be shuffling it.
Just like how PUBG was the first battle royale game. Yeah, exactly.
Totally. Yeah, it totally was. Yeah, I don't know if any
I think that's actually exactly a fair comparison to Overwatch. Was the first game was loot boxes.
Yeah, totally.
In the sense that it was the first game that mattered was loot boxes.
Yeah, it was the first game that people noticed.
And PUBG was the first game that mattered that was a battle royale.
Yeah, totally.
Battle royale, by the way, is now a genre. Like in the sense that like I feel like so many games are coming out that are battle royales that it's basically just gonna be a genre.
There's gonna be kind of games it's a battle royale? Got you. I know what that is. Yeah.
I just want to try that. I do really want to try that game.
PUBG?
Yeah.
Do it. It's coming out on Xbox soon, very soon.
I know, but like I feel I don't get drawn. I got sucked into Overwatch. Got sucked into Destiny. I want to start playing some single player stuff again.
Oh, well. Play the single player stuff and then play it.
I could.
Just wait.
Have some willpower. Have some little bit of willpower. Like, let me check my room for some willpower. Wait, when did I... Aww. I just noticed something fell off my wall. I'll go fix it later. Anyway, news. Yes. Yeah. I found it on the floor, being like, why you leave me here?
In the corner.
Why did you leave me here, man? Anyway, I have 2 videos and 1 news.
Just download Fortnite, says Nia.
News really news. Is Fortnite good? I will not get drawn into this.
Fortnite is good, it's just apparently not as good as PUBG. And it is a clone. And I don't mean Fortnite, the game Fortnite, I mean Fortnite Battle Royale, which is the free battle royale version of Fortnite. There are two Fortnites.
Obviously.
Huh.
Yeah.
Luke, what was your news there?
So, Skylanders. Oh wait, no. I mean Disney Infinity. Oh wait, no. Again, I mean Lego Dimensions is finally done. The game that everyone forgot about
It
is finally over.
Is it the last game the last of the three to give up?
Is Skylanders done?
I think
Disney
Skylanders is still going, actually.
That's all they've made Spyro look like an absolute monstrosity, right?
Oh yeah, no. The Skylanders is just like
Still
like,
going.
From working in game, I know that Skylanders is just evil.
King of the Hill.
Like, it's literally just like
the best.
The way they it's like it's like that stereotypical like tricking kids into buying stuff that they don't really need to play a game. It's just like it's horrible. But Lego Dimensions is finally over and done with. They were planning on doing a 3-year cycle, but they didn't end up getting to the third season, which honestly sounds good.
Couldn't get the cycle. Never mind. It's back in Lego Dimensions. Lord.
Because the amount I was kind of behind Lego Dimensions at one point because I was like, okay, so it's like a Lego game but full of like pop culture stuff like Doctor Who or like Sonic or Marvel characters or like just like things that like I can. It's like a toy box thing where I could just be like, okay, that's so good. But then they started doing things like Teen Titans Go and like. I think they had E.T. in at one point, and just like just these really weird sort of things. And
anything that's popular, right?
And I don't know, like Teen Titans Go. I don't think Teen Titans Go is popular.
I don't know what Teen Titans.
Teen Titans Go is good.
Amongst the kids, you go amongst the kids, right?
No, Teen Titans Go is good. Has so many unneeded sexual jokes in it. I'm so confused by that shit.
But yeah, like I just feel like when you've got like stuff like Doctor Who, and then like Sonic, and then all this other stuff, and then like your end line is like Teen Titans Go. Yeah. I feel like that's a sign of a dying franchise. But yeah, no, it's finally done. Apparently, they're going to be keeping servers up for people to continue playing it, but they are not producing any more content.
That's nice that they're keeping servers up. I wonder how long that lasts for.
Probably it's Warner Brothers, so it's like as soon as they figure out how like much of a drain this is going to be on the resources,
I think it'll last until they stop shipping, until the shops stop selling the leftover stock of like the Lego Dimension stuff.
So if we sorted out the will, okay, turn off the dialysis machine. Okay, yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're done. But yeah, Lego Dimensions is over and done with. I'm really interested in seeing when Skylanders will die. Because we know Disney Infinity's done. We know Lego Dimensions done. We know that nobody's going to return to this. I don't feel like that we're ever going to go through a period of having these games come back. At least not for a very long time. These types of games, I mean. So, like, I'm honestly wondering, can Skylanders, like, keep afloat? Or like, is this, like, the end of this era of buying toys to put on a portal to then play in a game?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's dead. I think Skylanders does well. And I think Skylanders does well because Skylanders did this because they wanted to do this, not because other people were doing it, you know? And I think both Lego Dimensions and Disney's were literally like, this is a cash cow! Let's get on that cow! You know what I mean?
See, at least Disney's made more sense though to me, because Disney's was like, because Disney was like, we've got our own, we've got our own like catalog of heroes and stuff, and like stuff that we don't have to like license or whatever. We could just push these guys out. But like even they failed, and they have some of the most like famous characters on the planet, like beholden to like
Yeah.
But even they managed to survive. So I'm just wondering, how is Skylanders still alive?
The kids love it. You know what's an interesting one? That Ubisoft one that they announced, the spaceship one. Spaceship Skylanders, Spacelanders, Spaceship Skylanders. They announced it at E3, and it was basically Starlink. That's the one. So that's not out yet, but with the death of LEGO Dimensions and the decreasing market, I wonder how well that does. Do you not remember this?
Probably not well.
No, I don't remember this at
I
all.
vaguely remember hearing about these spaceships.
Okay, I remember it because honestly, I was like, I'd probably buy that. That's why I remember it. I watched it. But basically, it's Skylanders, but instead of like, you know, pets or whatever, toys or crap, you buy spaceships, and you connect the spaceship, and you can fly that, and then you can buy parts for your spaceship and attach it to make the spaceship better or like different or whatever.
Oh wait, just to answer Nia's thing, you'd be surprised how many figures parents bought for their kids. Like, I 100% know Nia. I've ruined a few Christmases apparently. Like while I was looking at game, like you don't have this one specific character.
Yeah.
Well, then you've ruined my child's Christmas. It's just like, well,
why didn't you have it, Luke? It was your fault.
why didn't you order it like 3 months before, pal?
Yeah.
And you could have. Like,
At least it's not as bad as Amiibos.
Why didn't you know that was the one they wanted?
oh god, I forgot about Amiibo.
Either way, yeah, I don't know. I think also with the Lego, another important thing to remember is Disney Infinite wasn't actually losing money. Disney just didn't want to keep doing it. Like, they were just like, this isn't the direction we want our gaming studios to go anymore, and they were shutting down almost all of their gaming studios, and it was just a side effect of them closing the gaming branches of Disney down. And that was actually coincided with the move that Disney sold a lot of the rights to their games to EA, and that's when EA announced all of the Star Wars games. So those were actually this kind of like big bundle package of things happening. So the market might not be as bad as it appears. I think LEGO Dimensions was always, like you said, the one that made the least sense. And
Yeah, they just kind of just thrown, like, let's just throw things at this thing, and hopefully it'll become a success.
that spaceship thing reminds me of the Warframe Clan Dojo system. All I know is I want to
I totally agree with this, yes.
get
I know what that is.
physical spaceships that look cute and put them on my desk. And
Just buy
sometimes play the game.
Just buy the thing and not the game.
Yeah, I might do that.
Easy.
Problem solved.
Fixed.
What else we got?
Anyway, do we want to start with the
Trailers?
general poll, or the... Let's start with Jurassic. Let's start with Jurassic World. So this Jurassic World Evolution. This trailer isn't exactly new,
Isn't new?
but like I haven't had a chance to talk about it on the podcast yet, and it's not.
We talked about it.
It's not so much a gameplay trailer, it's just how the game looks, basically.
We did talk about it, but I'd be happy to talk about it again.
We did talk about this.
No,
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I want to talk. Let's talk about it again. Maybe
was
Luke
I
wasn't
on?
on. Maybe.
You weren't on the podcast, we talked about it.
Ah, okay.
You sure, and then we'll talk about and you tell what you think about it, Luke.
Okay, are you ready? 3,
Yeah.
2, 1, go.
So basically, like
Oh,
the reason
am I-
why,
Playing this was audio or not?
No, don't. It's what we took before, right? Just play it.
yeah, and don't play about you. It's basically the reason why I'm excited about this.
It's because it's made by the same guys that made Planet
Dinosaurs.
Coaster.
Yes.
The reason
This is what we talked about. This is why we were excited about it.
Okay, let's
reason
get
why I'm
Luke's
so-
bad reasons for being excited about this, and then let's add on good
basically,
reasons to it
a
afterwards.
little while ago, there was a small indie Microsoft game called Zoo Tycoon 2. And one of my favorite parts about that game was the fact that like it was a park builder, but like the animals acted like animals in real time, and you could watch them. And this gives me that vibe so much, and it's a vibe that, like it's a thing that I think's been missing for a while, because the Zoo Tycoon thing that came out for Xbox One when the Xbox One released,
Zoo Tycoon's trash.
yeah, that was trash. Like you
Zoo
couldn't,
Tycoon
I don't think you could
garbage.
build your park.
No,
That one.
probably.
But like
No,
I'm quite hyped because this footage looks really good and it looks like the animals react differently a lot, and like there's a lot of behavioral stuff going on.
Well, I'll
And
have
it's
you
just
know
yes.
that the big thing. So moving from Planet Coaster. So this game is made by the people who made Planet Coaster, which Planet Coaster was a crowdfunded game designed by an English studio to bring back the roller coaster tycoons and the tycoon builders of all yore, because the current companies that were doing them were crap.
Yeah.
And they fucking nailed it. They made it, and it was amazing, and it was glorious. And it's always good to have a UK studio make a good game, because there aren't many of them. But when they announced this game, they were like, the thing we want to do differently to Planet Coaster, we don't just want to make another park building game. We want it to have this life and this dynamicness to it. And that's what the dinosaurs are going to bring to it, because they're going to be unpredictable, and they're going to cause situations for the player, like in this managerial role, that he's going to have to recover from. Like, things can break out of places, dinosaurs can act unexpectedly, all of this stuff. I was like, that sounds boss! And that sounds like what you're talking about, at least one of the aspects of it.
Yeah, because like the one thing I did like about Zoo Tycoon 2 was the fact that like each animal had like certain behaviors that they would randomly do.
Yeah.
And like I could just watch them, you know, like oh that's cool. And like you put things in their pen and they'd react to them differently and stuff. Like you could put like a paintbrush and a pad and stuff in the elephant's pen, it'll start painting. I was like, oh, that's cool.
What if you put in a lion's pen then?
Lion will just be like, what the fuck's this?
I don't have a trunk. What am I supposed to do with this ball?
No man's dinosaur.
I love No Man's Dinosaur. I want it to be called that. No Man's Dinosaur.
Yeah, that's my first trailer. That's why I'm excited for that game.
It's gonna be so good.
I'm looking forward to different gameplay stuff that they're gonna have in that though. If it's gonna be based off anything like Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, there's going to be a good park builder, and there's also going to be like a good sort of like safari thing where you can shoot dinosaurs.
I'm putting a lot of faith into. I said I'm putting a lot of faith into this studio, so I'm hoping that they don't burn me.
The dinosaur.
Because like Frontier is great, and I believe in them. They also make Elite Dangerous, so another game you've played. Or Andy's played. One of the
another game that I couldn't crack in.
But my final link. Is the official trailer for Blue Planet 2. I haven't got a lot to add to this before we start playing, other than I love the first Blue Planet, the same way I love the first Planet Earth.
Planet Earth is way better than Blue Planet. Blue Planet's good, but Planet Earth is better.
I just thought this would make a good end to the podcast. You know, just like let's just watch some Fishies.
It is pretty.
Be good.
I want to watch some Fishies. Come on, I want to watch Fishies.
All right, 3, 2, 1, hit it.
It's the Blue Planet, though.
Turn these graphics up.
Okay, on.
So much blue. So much green and blue. Oh.
Really green, turquoise.
It's crazy how much of the planet is ocean and how little of it we have explored.
I don't know.
It's Patrick.
It looks sad to me.
I think there's some dead turtles there.
There's got to be at least a couple, right?
How'd the camera get outside the thing? Frickin' got you, fake submarine.
That is such a conspiracy theorist thing, I love it. That is totally what someone would say.
I've never seen that before.
It's like, got you, this was all rendered.
CGI. In a real doll. Man, like green suit.
That's beautiful. By the way, I've not watched Australia. So
oh my god, the fish has got a mohawk. Fuck gas fish. Oh, that was a Becca Lotus shrimp. That cool as hell.
Can you imagine being just swimming and seeing that? It's like, oh fuck, walked in the wrong neighbourhood. Oh, shit, fuck, no.
I don't know, Nia. Some of them aren't that appetizing looking, to be honest.
I mean, that's why everyone wants to eat those fish, right?
Penguins!
Not fish, it's a bird.
That's just a bird. Get out of here.
Basically a fish. Ugh. You didn't complain about the mammals that were on screen earlier.
Yeah, I like the seagull. It's like a sea dog.
Dun, dun, dun. So good.
Hey.
It might not
Like-
look appetizing, but it could taste delicious. Trust me.
My dream is to get like best telly and then just watch all that again on that and just be like, oh,
Come
yes.
over.
No, don't, because I will.
Don't tempt me. He's just gonna live in your. He's just live in your living room.
And then you won't be home, and then I'll be like, oh, I have to wait now.
What, to watch Planet Earth? No. You can watch
And then
it.
you'll get home, and I'll be like, hi, I'm here.
Did you move anywhere, Luke? No. Mm-mm.
What's a move?
Broken.
What's a where?
It's for the TV. You just don't need to move.
Them's my links, so I end up on a relaxing trailer. That
It was
made me
relaxing.
feel good.
She's-
Not gonna lie. Very pretty. And you got Nia's
It was.
appetite going, so there's that too.
Yeah, now Neo's hungry. Yo,
He's watering. His mouth is the water.
And there you go, guys. Thank you for watching. Andy,
hi.
take us away.
So yeah, all the stuff we talked about going to be a link dump. If you want to talk about stuff next week, send us some stuff. We'll talk about it. Or if you talk about something interesting and I say it, I'll just steal it. Yeah, follow us on Twitter, on here. We've got Discord, with lots of Discords.
Mhm.
And yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Good night.
Right, guys.
Bye.
Yeah.